Welcome back, dear students, in your English second class. So today we are going to study a poem of chapter first, Summer Sun, which was portrayed by Robert Louis Stevenson. He was born in Scotland. Earlier he was a lawyer and became a writer. Some of his popular novels were Treasure Island and Kidnapped. So today we are seeing his poem Summer Sun, which was portrayed on the sun. So this poem is of 5 stanzas with 4 lines each. So let's begin, students. See our first stanza. Great is the sun and wide he goes through empty heaven without repose, and is the blue and growing days more thick than rain he showers his rays. So what he is indicating in the first stanza, see the first two lines. Great is the sun and wide he goes through empty heaven without repose. So he is expressing the wisdom of sun, that how wide, big and great the sun is. The sun is moving and moving without the repose or without rest. And is the blue and glowing days more thick than rain he showers his rays. So here the sun rays are compared with the raindrops, which are compared more stronger than the raindrops, as they can enter where the raindrops cannot. Then moving to our next stanza, throw closer still the blinds we pull to keep the shady parlour cool. Yet he will find a chick or two, the slip his golden fingers through. So, in this stanza, it is indicated that in order to keep our living rooms cool during summers, we often pull our curtains on so that the sunlight remain outside the room. And yet he will find a chick or two to slip his golden fingers though. But then also the sun rays can enter in the room. Then nextly, the dusty attic spider clad, he thought the keyhole maketh glad. And though the broken edge of tiles into the ladders aloft smiles. So in our third stanza, it is indicated, although we are covering our rooms and homes with the curtains to make the sunlight out only, but then also the sun rays can enter through the holes and small openings, keyholes, etc. We cannot stop the sun rays to come inside our room. So nextly, meantime his golden face around he bears to all the garden ground, and sheds a warm and glittering look along the ivory's inmost nook. So here in this stanza, the wisdom of sun is expressed and the personification is used in this poem. What is the personification, students? It is a literary thing in which animals, non-living things are compared with the humans. As here in the fourth stanza we have seen the meantime. What is the meantime? When the sun is on its stronger form. So it gives why it is said that the sun comes in its stronger form to give the rays or to give the life or to give the energy to those things also which are hidden in the small places. For example, in our house there is a money plant which is growing within a corner. So there also sunlight reaches because that plant also need the sunlight to survive. So in our last paragraph, above the hills, along the blue, round the bright air with footing true. To please the child, to paint the rose, the gardener of the world he goes. So in this, poet describes that the sun rays can touch or reaches to the hilltop to make them shiny, even the high up hills. And in last two lines, to please the child to paint the rose, the gardener of the world he goes. The sun is compared to as a gardener, as the gardener take care of his plants. In the same way, sun is also compared. Sun is also taking care of the whole world. So in this we have seen that the poet has shown us or set us example that sun is not doing the partiality to even a small things, and for the hilltop also he is showering his blessing equally. Hope you have understood, students. So here this is the time for our question answers. So first of all, read these, come on page number 27, and read these lines and answer the questions that follow. Great is the sun and wide he goes, through empty heaven without repose, and in the blue and growing days, more thick than rain he showers his rays. So with regard to this context, our first question is, what do you think the poet mean by empty heaven? So answer is, by the empty heaven, the poet mean that nothing is there in the sky near the sun. Nextly, why are the rays described as more thick than rain? So here the rays are described as more thick than rain because of its scorching heat, strong heat. Then third part of this, why did the shower his rays in the blue and growing days? So the sun showered his rays in the blue and growing days because on such days the sky was free of clouds. Followed by this, our next reference is, yet he will find a chick or two to slip his golden fingers through. The first question, who will find a chick? Where was he supposed to find a chick? So the sun will find a chick and he is supposed to find a chick in the wall of the parlor. Followed by this, our second part is, what do you think the poet mean by golden fingers? By golden fingers, the poet means the golden and bright rays of the sun. Then our third part, why was he being kept out? So the sun was being kept out so that the rooms could be kept cool. Then C part, next reference is the dusty attic spider clad. He thought the keyhole met glad and threw the broken edge of tiles into the ladder's hell of smile. So our first part of this is, who did the sun make happy and how did he do this? Now, the sun made the dusty spider happy, and the second part of this is, the sun did his by pouring out his rays through the keyholes. Second part, how did the sun enter the hell of? The sun entered the hell of through the broken edge of tile. Third, what do these lines tell you about the sun? These lines tell us that it is impossible to keep the sun out of house because its rays come in through the blinds, curtains and even in the locked rooms. Then our second question, why do you think the poet has chosen summer as a setting of the poem? So the answer is, the poet has chosen summer as a setting for the poem because it is a season when the clouds are away and the sun is at its strength. Flowers and trees are in full bloom in summer sun. Then our last question is third, do you agree with the poet when he refers to the sun as the gardener of the world? Justify your answer. So yes, I agree with the poet when he refers to the sun as the gardener of the world. So why it is so? Our next part is, the sun is the source of all energy on earth. It is the presence of the sun that makes trees and plants blossom. So here, if we turn our page number 29, there is only one exercise in this poem. Use your imagination to complete these personification prompts. So these you have to complete yourself. This is very simple work, students. For example, the first one is the moon arrives. So to complete this sentence, we can add to the moon arrives at night. In the same way, second one, the trees waited. So the trees waited for the rain to come. In the same way, you have to do this work. There are 6 parts. Then this is a time, homework time. Do word meaning and question answers in your notebook. Complete your work, students. Thank you.